Agenda item number 3 is motion to meet with the representative of the State Health Department Jail Division to discuss non-compliance of jail.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Say aye. All opposed, same sign. You have the floors.
My name is Pat Cantrell, and I'm one of the Assistant General Counsels at the Office of General Counsel of the Oklahoma State Department of Health. It had been set for a hearing on October the 8th. As a result of the short time period that we had, I spoke with Mr. Wyant. Then I spoke with my clients at the health department, and it was determined at this time, based on my inability to be able to be brought up to speed as quickly as I needed to be, in view of my other obligations that I have at the department, that we would dismiss the action against the facility at this time, with the right to refile after we've had an opportunity to go back and look at the records from 2005 to present.
And looking at the case and the history here, what's quickly apparent is that Delaware County's been working to try to take care of this, and you're doing a variety of things. And so, the department's goal is not to go out and collect penalties. The department's goal is, to just have the jails operating, within the requirements of the law and rules.
I appreciate you dismissing the lawsuit. I hope that's not perceived as a sign of weakness on your behalf by the citizens, as opposed to a sign of you wanting to work with us to accomplish this goal. Because I understand as an attorney, you could refile this tomorrow and assign 2 or 3 more counsel to this and get serious if you want to be serious about it.
We do now have a community sentencing council that is working on, and we have a budget, not huge, we're given $20,000 by the Department of Corrections to work on our community sentence. There are several people here in this office here that are on that council. We formed the council also in a way that it not only could work to be a body that kind of oversees the community sentencing program, which might, as we're looking at this, we're still working on exactly who our target group is going to be, basically trying to keep it as broad as possible. Honestly, I don't think it's probably something that would have impacted more than perhaps 15 to 20 people's sentences.
So they tried to pass the 510 sales tax, and this is not with passing growth. Our sales tax is up, we're pretty high right now, and that would put it way, we'd be one of the highest in the state of Oklahoma. And our right now, the economy, it's horrible, and our people's not prepared to do that. Our business people are just
And I'm glad the sheriff is here because he can correct any misstatements I make, but I think we need your help with the Department of Corrections. Seems like we have problems getting the Department of Corrections not only to take people in a timely manner, but we have problems with them picking and choosing who they take. And I can give you some examples if I get this right, Sheriff. When I'm done, you correct all my mistakes here. Last time I was down there, I think we had 2 guys serving life sentences awaiting transfer to DOC. Those guys are what I call, pardon me, badass guys, where they have to be in a cell all by themselves. So you've got 2 guys tying up 2 cells instead of being able to hold however many you put in one cell. Department of Correction comes in here, and instead of taking those guys and getting them off our hands and opening up more space, they will take someone with 3 months left on their sentence. And not only that, but they pick and choose who they take. For instance, a lot of these guys are on very expensive psychotropic medications. If you've got some guy on $200 worth of medication a month, DOC isn't interested in those guys. They want the low maintenance people. Now, that's just a form of cost shifting from the state over to the county, and that's not right. And we need your help. And when I talked to the legislative liaison of the health department, he said, well, that's a problem we hear in every county. And if that's true, what are you guys doing to help us out with DOC? And when I asked him that, I said, well, what are you going to say to DOC? And it kind of threw it back, well, Representative, what are you going to say as a legislator? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to sponsor legislation this next session that says it will be the power of the sheriffs to determine which inmates they send to DOC, not DOC's power to pick and choose who they take. And hopefully that'll help, but it's going to take, sponsoring something and getting it passed That's a lot of work there.
Well, that you mentioned that, because that was my next question. I was going to ask, are you holding state inmates in the county facility? What kind of, because my understanding is, you give notice within 72 hours you're supposed to take. Is that
In
right?
72 hours, we have to have like emergency letter to them. And sometimes we don't need emergency letter because we done got their JNSs, it's done, they've already been sentenced. We got a guy down there now that's been there since April, and we can't get him down there. And we've got like 6 more down there that needs to go. I can't tell you when they're gonna go, but
We have, in Delaware, Ottawa County right now, Judge Haney can speak to this, we have 40 to 45 people waiting right now, sentenced, waiting to go to DOC in Ottawa County. They just stack us up, they stack up like cordwood down there.
In your
Yeah.
county jail?
Yes, yes,
In
sir.
Ottawa County.
In Ottawa County, in Ottawa County.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40,
I don't know whether you're aware of it or not, but there's 36 extra beds down here, cells that are not being used, that are part of the previous jail. And when we bring these up at the meeting as to why we can't renovate those, the comment is, well, the health department's got to shut down. Well, you're the health department. And I would appreciate a response from you, not today, but after you look into it. What's wrong with what's down there, and what would it take to satisfy you for us to renovate those 36 extra beds, which is basically a 50% increase of what we've got going right now, and it would certainly take care of the overnight prisoners and the low-risk prisoners on an interim basis. But this has been a concern, and we've been coming to these meetings for 2 years, and the answer is, health department says we can't use that. Well, I'd like to know what it'd take, and then maybe we can go out and come up with some contractors who will let us know.
I think we was going to end up with what, Randy, 32 or 30, 31 or 32 beds that would add to it. What this trust authority looked at was it was going to take extra staffing for the sheriff's department because it is separate from our other jail. So we were basically going to have another 2 people or 3 to staff that other 31 beds. We looked at that. I think we had an estimate of what, 1.2 or 3 million.
That's why I'm so appreciative that the health department, at least temporarily, has backed off, because it is going to be very hard for us to address this. With the economy like it is, I've had my first budget meetings at the state. I can tell you the county's going to get less money next year. I can tell you the health department's going to get less money next year. And
Health department. How about a PIO solution to the extra beds? Now, I made that suggestion here about a year ago and was shouted down. But, our troops overseas are living in a lot worse conditions than what the prisoners are living in Mesa, Arizona. And it gets thrown right back, well, the health department won't allow it. Well, there's the health department.
We will do some research and to find out, should I route back to Mr. Wyatt the information, or to the board, the chair of the board, or how?
I would encourage you to come back to the next meeting.
There you go. Is there,
I think it's very beneficial to have them here. Would everybody agree?
Okay.
And for 4 years, we've been meeting probably 70, I would guess around 70 to 80 times. We have met a lot over the past 4 years, and so I ask you to come to a few meetings. I hope it's not
okay.
asking too much.
Mr. Chairman, what's the possibility of getting some more Grove reps on the jail committee?
Well, right now, there's no vacancies on the committee. At the point in time there's vacancies, the commissioners will make appointments.
I think